Hello everyone, Dane here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, I'll be talking about the Wheel of Time Season 3 finale, Episode 8, He Who Comes at Dawn. And who is he? Well, it's gotta be none other than the Dragon Reborn, the Kara Khan. I am very excited to talk about this episode. I will say, before I get fully into spoilers, this one felt a little convoluted. Like, there was a lot happening, especially in the first. I feel like they were trying to close out a few other storylines in the beginning so that we could fully focus on Rand and his story in the latter half of the episode. Man, oh man, a lot happened. Like, I was trying to keep up with the notes and I was like, geez, Lou. But very cool stuff. There were some CG effects that did not look as great as some of the stuff we've seen in prior episodes of the season. But then there's some really cool practical stuff like these. There's a character that is introduced that I'm like, what is that? And how are we gonna see this thing again? Yeah, it's very, very cool. I'll talk about all that. There's a lot of betrayals, a lot of violence in this one. Oh my god. Mogadien just really goes for it. I think probably the most sinister character they've introduced this season. Like, yeah, she just doesn't care. A lot of really cool stuff, breakups, finales, deaths. Oh my, everything happened in this episode. It was a jam-packed hour of the show. And like I said, even though it's a little messy to begin with, once we get to I feel like once we get to the Dragon Reborn stuff, like it gets very, very good. So let's get into spoilers. So if you haven't seen the episode, make sure to go check it out before you watch the rest of this. We begin with a flashback to Suyan beating Elida for their Emlyn seat. Uh, it's hard to tell because they're not supposed to age, right? So it's hard to tell like when things start happening. Elida has always been someone that dresses up like very fancy, so like I wasn't sure. Yeah, it was hard to tell for me that it was a flashback until we get to the voting part, and they announced like the ambulance seat, and of course there's a different person doing the whole staff, which we know Suyan has her own. I forget the name of the protector. We also see what, so that's the cold open. We get to see that Suyan actually gets the vote, even though Elida was very confident she was going to win. So this kind of set back her plans, like, I don't know, hundreds of years, probably. That's why she had to go and be the advisor to the royal family. Then we see in the present now, we see Leandra is on the move, and Nynaeve and Matt are following. She's finally got the braces and she's got the collar and she's just trying to finish the set. I thought this was gonna play out a little bit more in the season, but I guess it's something that they'll maybe explore further. Maybe they just needed to give her something to do. Um, yeah, I don't know. The Leandrin stuff felt so disconnected to everything because obviously we don't get a resolution for it yet. We also see Ren and Lanfear. They break up in the dream world. And it's always hard to tell when they're in the dream world or not. I mean, I guess they don't really see each other in real life. Um, and then we see that after that, Lanfear has to switch gears, and she goes to Melimdra, who owes her a debt. It's never really specified what the debt is. At least I didn't find that in the episode. But now we know that, and Melindra is the person that Lan recognized in the bathhouse. Then we see Moghedien, who visits Samael, who's locked up. Moraine's got this like shield on him, and after Rand took him out last episode, they're holding him. I think Moraine wants to use him to train Rand in some form of fashion. I mean, maybe because he's a male channeler. I don't know why she would use one of the Forsaken in that purpose, but Moghedien visits him and she just tears him apart. Like when you see him later, when you see what she actually did to him, it is super gnarly. Like she just took out all the power, the magic, like everything from him, and just left like a carcass behind. Then we saw earlier that Lanfear marked one of the Aiel that hates Rand. with the dragon sleeves as well. So like there's a fake, a fake pretender. So the battle for the Carcon heats up as they both arrive in front of everyone, right? To declare themselves the Carcon. Now, obviously, we know as the viewers the truth, but the people, they don't trust an outsider like Rand. So Elaine. Elaine ends up taking out another one of the Dark Aja, who's got this lightsaber, for a lack of a better terminology. We also see that Matt. So this is kind of where the group is taking out pretty much all the Dark Aja in different ways. Matt goes through this portal and sees some kind of cat person thing. I believe it's called the Elfin, who grants you wishes like in a monkey's paw type of way. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. The show didn't spend a lot of time on it. I was very confused. I don't know if they brought this up before. I don't think we've seen this character before. This is where I need y'all to tell me what's going on with that cat person on the portal. Why do they have such power? Yeah, I feel like the show. I wish there was a little bit more time to explore that if it hasn't been explored. But then, as Matt finally wishes to get out of there, obviously he doesn't. Like I said, there's this monkey's paw aspect of it to where, like, well, Matt didn't specify how or when or what the prize was going to be, so Elfin just leaves Matt outside, but he hangs him in like with a rope, which was one of Min's visions. But Min's able to come back, helps him out, takes out one of the Dark Aja, and then performs CPR, which I was like, hold on a second, CPR was a thing back, or I guess not back then, but like in this fantasy world, there's CPR. That's very good to know. Um, Leandrin also finds Nynaeve because she stuck around to wait for her friends instead of leaving like their plan was, and she sinks her to the bottom of the lake or the ocean that's right outside. But Nynaeve finally unleashes her powers. Like she finally embraces her powers. It was a really cool moment actually for this character. She's probably one of the characters that had a full arc, very subtle arc in this season. And yeah, she just she splits the water and she's a badass. So then we cut back to the tower where the mutiny is happening. Uh, the red Aja tricked. I mean the red. Yeah, the Reds tricked tricked everyone really to lower the defenses in the tower. Suyan is brought to court to a vote. She's removed as the Emerald seat, and a new Emerald seat is voted on, and it is now Elida. So that's probably just a mirror from from the start of the show. But then they also she's sentenced to be stilled, and if you remember, I think from the first or second season, being stilled is when they take away your ability to channel. It's a very rough scene, and then even later on when she comes back, she's all beat up too. Like I don't know what they were doing to her. um Leandra and Mogadin have a quick moment, so I think that's where we're gonna follow that story. Leandrin's goal is to become one of the Forsaken, right? So which is interesting because I guess I didn't realize the Forsaken maybe were just regular people that were chosen, the chosen by the Dark One. So Raven talks to Lanfear, which Raven's the identity is revealed to Elaine, but obviously she doesn't have a chance to talk to her mom yet. And then once again, we go back to the Aiel with the Battle of the Carcons, right? We have both of these guys claiming to be the Carcon with the tattoos and declaring in front of everyone and in front of all the different tribes and the groups. In the meanwhile, we see Moraine preparing to face Lanfear. She finally is going to face all the visions that she had in her journey there. I thought Moraine was dead for a minute. But then Lan joins the fight. Suyen has probably the best scene in the whole episode, maybe the season. Oh my god, uh, I forget the name of the performer, Cleopatra, maybe. I forgot. They were talking about it after the show. But yeah, she's fantastic. Like her scene, if you're gonna go out on a show, because she does die right after this. Like this is how you should go out, man. Oh man. Yeah, so she drops some hard truths on everyone, but then she is killed, decapitated. Actually, it's you don't see it, but you see the body afterwards. It's pretty rough. And then Moraine feels this. They have a bond, right? They're connected. They love each other. They've been working on this for such a long time. Um, this fuels Moraine to come back into the fight. She's able to use that orb to not get rid of Lanfear, but at least drive her away for now. She does injure her as well, and then we cut to the last scene where Rand finally has to prove that he is the Dragon Reborn. He is the true Karakhan, and he makes it rain. He channels all these powers and makes it rain. They make it seem like he makes it rain all across the world because the cloud coverage, you can see it in multiple places as it's happening, right? Which I thought was really cool. I mean, what an amazing display of the true power. And then this is when the Aiel, I think, to me, it felt like everyone kind of changed their mind and recognized them as the true Karakhan. So uh, we do hear Egwene tell Rand to pull back. He does not. And then we cut to black, and that's the end of the season. And it left at an insane place. I'm gonna go crazy just thinking and waiting for the next season. But yeah, like I said, not a perfect way to end the episode, but man, oh man, they left on such a high. A lot of really cool things happen. A lot of status quo has changed, right? The tower is now an enemy of our characters that we're following in the story. Moraine is now lost her biggest ally and the love of her life. The Forsaken have also taken some losses, but also maybe gained a new individual with Leandrin, if that's to be followed. And they have the weapon to cage the Dragon Reborn, which is also what the Tower wants to do. So I feel like next season is going to be a lot of hunting for Rand. But Rand's also more powerful, but also the more he channels, the more he can lose his mind. So obviously, double-edged sword. What a freaking cool story! Like just really cool stuff. So there you have it. That's the end of season 3 for the Wheel of Time. Very excited to see where we go from here. If you have watched this episode or if you watched the whole season, let me know. What did you think about it down in the comments? As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned because we have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye-bye.